Hello again, ladies and gentlemen. I apologize. I don't know why my recording stopped halfway through. The only thing that you missed is that a raid happened, and if it wasn't in the previous part, I did lay down a bunch more plans for marble flagstones. That's it. Daisuke and Garnet got injured, as well as Irish, I think. Or is he suffering from muscle parasite? Yeah, he's just suffering from muscle parasite. Garnet is tending to Daisuke. That's good. But can you actually tend to Irish? Not right now, okay. I need to keep an eye now. Oh my god, a mad boomerlope. That's horrible. I need to keep an eye on my recording software. Okay, so I want you and you. We'll get you two to try and engage in this mad boomerlope. Oh yeah, look at that. Trying to break through the door. Because this boomerlope needs to die, firstly. Oh, maybe not by the plants. And if you guys haven't seen it already, what happens when a boomerlope dies is that. So you have burn, and you have gunshot wound. Alright. We'll take you off of that for now. You're wondering. Okay. Cool, cool, cool. Excellent. Marshall here. Let's untick Marshall. And is somebody going to build this grave? Oh yes, put out the fire near the plants, please. Oh, you're hauling the boomerlope? I'm not sure how much food you can get off of a boomerlope. Medical emergency. Daisuke. What's wrong with Daisuke? Frail, he has a minor infection. Garnet is sleeping. Who's our backup doctor? Daisuke is our backup doctor. Okay. So you have bleeding there. We do want to get you cured. So let's do that. And let's have you tend to yourself. Tending to Garnet. Yeah, wrap up that wound first. And then go and prioritize, yeah, tending to Daisuke. We can't do anything about that infection, so let's hope that he survives. Let's see his actual status here. He's not moving, he's not manipulating? He's not manipulating? I guess he can't. I don't know what that one is for. He's not talking and he's not eating. Okay, now he's talking and eating. He's got very poor consciousness. His sight is weakened and his metabolism is poor. Affected by stomach 12. We have another fire there. Venison is rotted away in storage. Why is this not cooling? I need that to cool. What I would also want to do is expand that, because for some reason it wasn't expanded. Okay, now it's cooling, which is good. And we've run out of power again. Oh boy. Garnet, are you assigned to plant cut? You are not assigned to plant cut because you cannot do any form of skilled labor. Cool. Irish is currently sleeping. G is also resting. Oh man. We do need some sort of power. And right now, I don't think we have things going in our favor. Major break risk. Daisuke, he's up and about. What's wrong with you? Intense pain, recreation deprived. Awful barrack. Ate raw food. Why did you eat raw food? Muffalo self-tamed. Cool. We'll never do constructing. Okay, well, we do need plant cut. So we'll go to here and we'll do plant cut on Irish to set that to a 2, because we desperately need wood. We don't want our food to spoil. And Kaleidoscope just wanders on into our freezer and eats his own food. Tantrums in the Daisuke? Yep, I know what I just said. And he's trying to break down some walls. If you can break down a wall with your bare fist, Daisuke, I'll be sorely impressed. It reminds me of this time in college. I studied science in college. Oh yeah, serves you fucking right, Daisuke. This one time that I was in college. Well, I was in college for a while, but in this one instance, I was speaking to my biology professor, my biology teacher. I would not call her a professor at all. And we were doing like this end of year exam. Oh, not end of year exam, end of year practical test where we got graded on it and all sorts of jazz, right? Well, I didn't know what my topic was going to be. So I asked her and was like, hey, like, what can I have my topic be about? And she offered me a suggestion. I think it had something to do with algae in a terrarium or in a, like, vivarium or something. And I was like, okay, cool, that sounds fine. So I went home and I wrote up a plan to go ahead and do that. And then when I came back and showed her this plan, she was like, you know, we're not actually going to provide you with any of this stuff. I'm like, well, what the hell? Like, come on. Seriously, like, at this point, I was already behind in my topic, because I had 2 weeks before, or the entire class picked their topic 2 weeks beforehand. And here I was behind, and I followed the professor's advice. And then she was like, no, we're not providing you with any of this stuff. And I'm like, well, screw you too. Normally I'm not a violent person at all. And whenever something like that happened, I stay quiet, not necessarily stay quiet about it. I expressed my frustration, and I did. I said to her, with all due respect, miss, I can't remember her name. With all due respect, and I said this through my teeth, just to make it a little bit more, making myself seem a little bit more annoyed and pissed off. And I said, with all due respect, you were the one who suggested this to me, and now you've just wasted a lot of my time. Of course, she had nothing to say to that. And, of course, that still left me no better in my situation. So, afterwards, I was so frustrated with that. I think we had maths class afterwards. I was expressing my frustration to everyone, and I just felt like my head just boiling. I was like, okay, please excuse me for a moment. I turned around and punched the wall. Yep, I punched the wall. That wasn't a smart move on my part, but I did feel better, although my hand was sore for the rest of the day. And I think I didn't sprain anything, but I could see that my wrist was starting to swell. But that just reminds me of what Daisuke did here. He threw a tantrum, but freaking Daisuke, he comes around and he punches everything. I just punched a single wall once, and that's it. I didn't do anything to the wall, if you're wondering. The wall is still perfectly fine and still standing today. Believe me, I've checked. No, I haven't. Don't believe me, I'm a liar. But yeah, that wasn't a nice move by the professor. And bless her, she's an old lady as well. But that still doesn't excuse, you know, what she did. I know she was trying to do it to be helpful, but it didn't help me at all. I can't remember what I ended up doing my thing on. I think it had something to do with milk and yeast. I have no idea. I can't remember. It wasn't that important at all. Pretty sure it was just one of the default options, or one of the default things. I do remember that the whole class had been given a sheet of experiments to pick from, but the professor for some reason, sorry, the teacher for some reason, wanted us not to do repeat things. Major break risk. Yeah, the teacher didn't want two students to do the same project. So, of course, there were more students there than there were suggestions on that list. So we had to come up with our own things, which, you know, it's fine. When I was in my foundation year of science in another college, I was doing physics, and we had to pick our own topic. I ended up doing mine on investigating the coefficient of friction, which is basically being like, hey, how does friction work? And how do people measure it and whatnot? And to this day, I'm still proud of that, because up until that point, I had no idea there was a thing called the coefficient of friction. But now I do, and that one was great. I didn't have any problems with that. Turned out that I really didn't want to do science anymore after my first year of physics at university. Not because it was difficult. It was very difficult. But it's that I didn't have any passion for it at all at that point. I initially wanted to do physics because this is the great place to be telling you my life story. But this is, I'm not actually paying attention to the game either. Daisuke is having another tantrum, but he's fine now. Minor break risk Irish. How are we doing on actual food? We're at 2 on food, so let's go and assign some food work to Daisuke. I think maybe we should put cooking at 1. And then once cooking's done, what should I have him do? Daisuke is also good at doctoring. He's also good at constructing. Constructing isn't a word, it's called construction, you moron. Wow, okay, me, stop trying to lambast myself. Yeah, science just didn't have, you know, the answers to the world that I wanted it to have. Which, you know, for the majority of my life I thought it was the case. That science would help me understand, like, my place in the universe and everything else. But no. Science is actually woefully inadequate to deal with that kind of stuff. Sure, even if you can find, like, a scientific formula that explains all the brain functions in the world, it still won't tell you why. And philosophy is the closest we can ever get to why. And philosophy, therefore, is a lot better than science. Prove me wrong. I don't really want to get into long, in-depth discussions about that. But, you know, you can go ahead and do what you want. If you think that science is generally better than philosophy, which, you know, in terms of materialistic standards it is, there's a lot more people out there, or a lot more employers out there that want science degrees than who want philosophy degrees. And philosophy is generally seen as one of the useless degrees because, hey, you're not training to become a doctor, or you're not training to become a rocket scientist or something. What can you train to become as a philosopher? Nothing comes to mind. Maybe you can pick lawyer, but then you'd be better suited off with a law degree. Anyway, I think this topic has gone way off the rails. Let's have a quick look at what's going on. So, Muffalo is self-tamed. The disease infection. Who's infected? Jump to location. Daisuke. He's no longer diseased. That's good. And we have a psychic soothe. Is everyone experiencing psychic soothe? No, actually. Oh, female gender. So, Garnet. Okay. Yeah, I've been speaking for way too long that I didn't notice any of this here. We do have low medicine. Unfortunately, we can't make medicine. But we can get the next best thing, which is wild heal root. So we'll go ahead and do cut there. We have 54 wild heal root. Alright. This muffalo is just walking around our entire house. We need to get a space for the muffalo. Get like a barn or something. I do like creating a barn just so that all my animals can be in that one location at once. It also prevents the risk of, or lowers the risk, sorry, of wild animals wanting to go and hunt them. Oh, we have a fire, huh? Who is going to put that out? Garnet, please put out the fire. I don't want it to burn my cotton plants. Alright, we made a little bit of headway on our research into sterile materials. Daisuke is having a chat. Irish, what are you doing? That's not Irish, that's marble flagstone. Cooking meals? How many meals do we prepare? Oh man, these blueprints are killing me. 20? Let's go with 15 for now. Although maybe I should go with 16. Everyone's asleep. Garnet, what are you doing? You're hauling berries. And I believe you're going to sleep sometime soon, right? Oh, we also have 284 berries, so we're fine on food for now. Irish needs treatment. Oh, and Irish is up again. Why do you need treatment? You have muscle parasites again. These parasites are continually coming back. Irish and Garnet have a minor break risk. Incapacitated refugee quest. Ray is a 71-year-old commoner lord. He promises to join you if you rescue him. That is over here where... Oh, and we have another refugee arriving. Who are you? A starship janitor named Sullivan. Being chased by the black leopard Obro. Group consists of 2 archers. Sure, let's allow her in. Wow, look at that. She has a burning passion for research, but she's terrible at it. She's got great crafting, high cooking. She also loves animals, but she's also not that great at it. Alright. We'll get you over here. We'll get Garnet over here. And I think that's everybody. There should be a gun around here, I think, right? A gun just lying on the floor? I don't see it. It might be in our general storage. Wherever we put that. Ah, yes, here we go. Equip revolver and Guy. Okay, Guy doesn't do any fighting of any kind. Daisuke does, though. I'll give Daisuke that revolver there. Alright. Oh no, Garnet is in a bad place right now. Irish, hurry up and get there. Garnet is doing well. She's hit this guy a few times. His job is abandoned, or his title is abandoned. Wow. Okay, I'd like you guys to shoot this dude. Cool, that worked. The other one fled. Alright, you guys can return back to your duties. We'll allow the hauling of that short bow, and we'll place down a grave right around here. Excellent, we have another person, which means we need another bed. We can designate this as her bed for now. Is this a he or a she? That's a she, okay. Wow, did I just assume that gender? Of course I did. Let's drag that out there. Let's do furniture, standing lamp. Let's get ourselves a dresser. Oh, nobody else actually has a dresser, so I don't think we need to... We have 13,000 wood. Sorry, 1,300 wood. So we can stand to make this place a lot nicer looking. Oops, that is a stool and not an end table. We don't have end tables. Alright. Oh, great. Oh, the raid's already over. Daisuke is just on a food binge. Alright, well, whatever. I think that's going to be where we're ending it. We had a nice long talk about science and philosophy. We had a new colonist join us. And we also had a mid-session cut in the video. So I'll release this episode in 2 parts. This is overall a longer episode, I guess. But I had something I wanted to talk about, so... so there you go. Alright, thank you guys for watching, hope you've enjoyed, I'll see you next time, and take care.